Thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Most Excellent 80s Movies Podcast. Want to skip those ads and get early access? Become a member at truestory.fm/join and discover all the other great perks that come with it. Welcome to the Most Excellent 80s Movies Podcast. It's the podcast where a filmmaker, a comedian, and their fabulous guests make ourselves at home with the 80s movies we think we love or might have missed with these, our grown-up eyes. And today we're talking about Uncle Buck, a movie selection from 1989, about which Letterboxd says, he's crude, he's crass, he's family. Buck Russell, a lovable but slovenly bachelor, suddenly becomes the temporary caretaker of his nephew and nieces after a family emergency. His freewheeling attitude soon causes tension with his older niece, Tia, loyal girlfriend Shanice, and just about everyone else who crosses his path. And here comes the trailer.
Where do you live?
The city.
Do you have a house?
Apartment.
Own or rent?
Rent.
What do you do for a living?
Lots of things.
Where's your office?
I don't have one.
How come?
I don't need one.
Where's your wife?
Don't have one.
How come?
It's a long story.
Do you have kids?
No, I don't.
How come?
It's an even longer story.
Are you my dad's brother?
I'm your dad's brother, all right.
Buck Russell had always been the black sheep of the family.
I'm stunned that I'm related to you.
Until one night.
Buck, we have a problem with the kids. We're stuck for somebody to watch them.
Oh, please, not that.
Can we trust him?
He's my brother, for God's sake.
I won't let him get into that Satan stuff or any of the new chicks. I'll leave that for me. Wow. I'm kidding, huh?
Now, he's making them breakfast.
Cigar?
No, thanks.
Making them lunch. And making them crazy.
What did you do?
He's irresistible.
And I want to ask you why I'm so attracted to you.
I wouldn't even guess at that.
Whoa!
He's unbelievable.
I'm Anita Horgar.
I'm Buck Melanoma. Molly Russell's wart.
He's
Would you just
John Candy. As Uncle Buck.
What does he like to drink? I've been leaving the toilet seats up. Is that what the blue water is? It's not good for him, huh?
Uncle Buck, the new comedy from John Hughes.
You have much more hair on your nose than my dad.
How nice of you to notice.
I'm a kid, that's my job.
Coming soon to a theater near you.
I love that they basically play the whole little interaction between him and Macaulay Culkin when he's asking a million questions, because that is arguably the best part of the movie. That was a really good trailer. We've had a run of really weird trailers, but that one's really good. It sums up the movie. It's got all the funny parts. It does that trailer thing where there's some weird lines that aren't actually in the movie. But well done, trailer. I say cheers to ye. I am Krissy Lenz, one of the directors and a performer at the Neighborhood Comedy Theater in downtown Mesa, Arizona. And with me, as always, is
Nathan Blackwell, independent filmmaker and podcaster? Question mark?
Yeah. No, it's been like 10 years, Nathan. You're a podcaster. I'm sorry to say. And joining us for Uncle Buck is one of my favorite people in the whole world, a former performer at the Neighborhood Comedy Theater in downtown Mesa, Arizona, a hilarious man and a writer. It's Mr. Heath Wilcock.
Hello, thank you for having me. I'm very, very excited to talk about one of my favorite films.
Yeah, so did you see this a lot as a kid?
Yes, I'm trying to remember when I first saw it, and it is the John Hughes film I've seen the most. It's the John Hughes, it's the one. It is also my favorite John Hughes film. So I saw this one probably the most, and of course, Ferris Bueller. I actually did not grow up on like The Breakfast Club. It was my parents wouldn't let me watch that one.
Too adulty.
Yeah, too
Yeah.
adult, yeah, the language and stuff.
Mhm.
But Uncle Buck, I was introduced to it, I think probably, through my dad, most likely. He loved John Candy. I mean, who didn't? And so, uh, yeah, so he introduced me to a lot of John Candy films, including, um, yeah, Uncle Buck, and I'm trying to think of some other ones that just like stand out. But yeah,
I love him
Awesome.
also in I always think of him as the character in Home Alone who's in it so briefly, but he's like poka poka poka, and he's like, "You never heard of us? Amazing." And he's like when he talks about how he left his niece in a morgue overnight or something, or his daughter. You remember that part? Anyway, that's a different movie. That's a movie from the 90s. But yes, Uncle Buck, this was a family favorite in my household as well. Was it for you, Nathan?
I mean, I wouldn't say it was. I think that distinction is Ferris Bueller.
Mhm.
But it's definitely one that I saw a couple of times. And by watching it again for the podcast, it's probably been like 20 years? Question
Oh,
mark.
wow.
Yeah, so it's been a
That's
while.
interesting. This is one that I went to whenever it's like the holidays and we have to pick a movie we
Mhm.
can all watch together.
Mm.
This is a one of the ones that I went to be like, "Oh yeah, we'll all watch Uncle Buck." Like there's nothing weird and wrong with that, right? And there's not really.
oh,
There's a little bit.
It rides the line a couple of times, but
It does.
this one
right.
and also Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. My brain was blanking, but Planes, Trains, and
Yes.
Automobiles was a huge one for obviously Steve Martin, who I love dearly, and
Yeah.
then of course John Candy. And then I read about like John. The reason why John Candy was chosen because John Hughes just worked with him and Planes, Trains, and Automobiles and then that's why he wanted him in Uncle Buck. Makes sense. Like you get
It
along
seems like
working with
Uncle
him.
Buck was like written for him though. Like who else could play
Mhm.
this character and be so beloved?
Yeah.
Oh,
And
I was reading up about it. There was like a list of people that they were kind of going for Uncle Buck, even Tom Cruise, and I was like, "What?" There's
What?
like, how can he like now seeing Uncle Buck? I'm like, can you see Tom Cruise? I mean, maybe now from after like Tropic Thunder, but like at the time,
Mhm.
not 80s Tom Cruise. There was like to be silly
no.
like that. Yeah,
Mhm,
He
bumbling.
is
Yeah.
mhm.
so young. That would
That
change
sounds like
it.
a
That would change the
studio
dynamic
request.
completely.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
totally studio request. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Like big blockbuster. Yeah.
But John Candy is perfect as he always
Yes.
is.
Mhm.
Uh so the movie starts with a little slice of life with Tia and Miles and Maisie, the nieces and nephews. And it's amazing to me right off the bat just how terrible the niece Tia is. She's so mean. She's so mean to her little brother and sister.
Mhm.
And
So
like
mean.
she's gonna like
The glare she gives is
oh the
insane.
glare.
The
Oh,
constant
it's
glares, and I'm like, "Yo," like, they're intense, yeah.
yeah. She real mean and she just hits the ground running as this character where you're like, wow, you are unlikable. I immediately hate you. Jean Louise Kelly is the actress's name. And boy did she do a good job.
Yeah, because she doesn't come off as a mustache twirling bad guy who is just mean for no reason. She just feels like just a venomous, you know, kitty cat who just scratches everyone who gets near her.
Mm-hmm. And she's we get the idea that she's mad because they moved from Indianapolis and now she's in a new place where, perhaps she misses her friends or she misses her old life or whatever it is. But she's mad at the parents for moving them here. And the parents seem slightly out of touch, but Tia's just terrible. They have a little dinner together and it's Chinese food and she's like, "What a lovely dinner, mother. However, did you find the time?" And it's like,
Mhm.
what a shitty thing to say to your mom. It's
I
like,
love I love that it's Chinese takeout too, where it's like, that's like the telltale sign of we just moved and we're still trying to get settled in, and yet their house looks great. Like, it doesn't look
Mhm,
like they just
mhm.
moved, right?
The palatial mansions of the John Hughes universe are always so impressive to me. Like this house, the McAllister house, it's like, what do these people do for work?
Right. 2 stories minimum. It's
Minimum.
it's so interesting to see kind of like the affluent, not filthy rich, but practically, and seeing that throughout all his other different characters in his different movies.
Yeah,
Well,
and
also,
Ferris
like,
Bueller
apparent
too.
yeah, and apparently they used to be even more rich because that was the problem why they moved. They're like, "Oh, there was, like, a line about money or cash or something like that. They couldn't have enough cash, so that's why they had to move to Indianapolis." Like, I'm like, that's that's like a downgrade for them.
Mhm. They used to live literally in a castle on a hill, and that's why she's mad because she's not a little princess anymore. Then we meet Buck and his girlfriend Shanice, and she wants him to come work for her at her tire company.
Played by the wonderful Amy Madigan.
Yes,
Yes.
we were
Having
watching this.
having a new moment with Weapons.
Yeah,
Yes.
I told Rocket, that's Aunt Gladys from Weapons, and he was like, "What?" I'm like, yeah.
I'm so
Here
happy
she
she got
is.
nominated. She get for this for Golden Globes. Whatever you think of Golden Globes, I'm just happy she got nominated because I thought she was great in Weapons. So I'm very happy.
Oh, she's so creepy in Weapons.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, when I realized that was her, I was like, "You mean the wife from Field of Dreams is now the scariest woman I've ever seen?"
So scary.
Yep. And he just wants to go golfing whenever he wants. He's like, I just want to throw my sticks in the trunk and go golfing whenever I want. That's who I want to be. And we get the feeling that like it's getting a little old.
Yeah, he's a free spirit, and now that he's 40, he's not getting any any more leeway to kind of live the grown up boy life.
Yes, no more man child. So
Which is a harsh
immediately.
lesson.
Oh, sorry, Nathan.
Let's move on.
So suddenly the mom's dad had a heart attack, and someone needs to come be with the kids, and they're like absolutely scraping the bottom of the barrel of like people who could take care of the kids. And Tia says to the mom, if my whole family moved away from me, I'd have a heart attack too.
Yeah, such a mean line. Such a mean delivered really well. But
yeah, her acting is terrific, but it's just it's a knife through the heart. Watching this movie as a mom of a teenager now, and she's supposed to be like what, 15? That's the exact age Rocket is, and I'm just like, oh my god, if he treated me like this, I would drive into a bridge abutment. I don't know.
It'd break my heart. Yeah, my daughter's that age. Like she's just turned 16, so like, yeah, that's crushing. And then also with John Hughes, like always, they deliver these lines with the camera right on their face. And there's these lines like it's not in the it's like the camera's right on them, and they deliver these like really powerful lines. I'm always like, woof. There's plenty of them in this film.
Yeah, John Hughes is great at obviously the comedy, but he definitely puts a spotlight on his characters, and really these quiet character moments, that's what kind of gives him his signature. And it's nuts to think that like his run of movies, 16 Candles, Breakfast Club, Weird Science, Ferris Bueller's, Planes, Trains, She's Having a Baby, Uncle Buck, that was really his prime run. After that was Curly Sue, which I haven't seen. But 16 Candles was 1984 and Uncle Buck was 1989.
Yeah, so he is just churning them out, cranking them out.
And then it stops. Yeah, it's nuts.
Well, I mean, how productive can you be? Like he spent it all in one decade and then came back for Home Alone. So
yeah.
The man did good work though.
Yes, he is appreciated.
We love him. So the dad finally calls Buck and he agrees to come watch the kids. At first he thinks they're going to come to his house and he's like, yeah, we'll build tents. I just got the 1 bedroom, but we'll build
Throw the
forts.
sleeping
And they're
bag
like,
so you can bring him over. Yeah, and his
Mhm.
place
Yeah.
is just like rough.
Yeah. He does the clapper, and which our listening audiences right now, I mean, like, I assume everyone's our age, but like people may not know that the clapper was a big deal in the 80s, that you could like clap on, clap off the clapper, and
Uh-huh.
you would like clap on and off your lights. What? Why did that not stay a thing? Like, although I like accidentally clap so much, I'd be turning lights on and off all day long. But it turns on the lights in his entire building.
Mm.
So good.
And that's one of those little absurd moments that just makes this. It's like what Spies Like Us was trying to do, was to
Mhm.
be like a sort of heartfelt movie with like a genuine message, but these little weird absurd moments, and it just didn't hit the bullseye. Whereas this one really hits the bullseye, both with the sweetness of the story and uh, with the little absurd moments of comedy.
There are like these little moments that are so cartoonish. I mentioned to you this to you, Krissy, where it's like the magical realism, where something magical happens. It would never happen, but we're not going to address it. It just is, and then we're right back to it. Like the
Mhm.
clap on, we're not going to be like, how did that happen? How did that whole entire place get lit up? It was just a small little bit, and we're back to it. And this is a lot of John Hughes fun. I was just thinking the Emilio Estevez when he's like dancing and then he screams and that whole shatters, that door shatters in Breakfast Club. And
Yeah,
like that would
and
never
he
happen.
never
That's
gets
so
in trouble.
absurd.
Mhm.
And then we
Yeah.
just keep moving on. Like there's a lot of this, and I realize in John Hughes stuff where it's very sincere. I like what Nathan talked about, like this character, very sincere about these characters, where you feel I always get choked up in all the like they're just made to get choked up where it's funny, but then they're gonna pull some heartstrings. And then these moments that are very silly, but they're not
Mhm.
Naked Gun where it's just continually silly, like over the top, and it's just that's the whole shtick. It's just these just little moments, these little magical moments. Why was there a dog in the dryer when he calls for the dog and the dryer and the dog pops out of the dryer? Like, not going to
Mhm.
explain it. Just it is what it is.
That's where
Yeah,
the dog hangs out.
yeah.
Yep. And we jump right back in on one of these absurd moments where Uncle Buck goes to the wrong house. And can you blame him? No. It's a house full of mansions that all look the same. And he's like at the wrong house, banging on the door. And he's like, come, you called me. Get out here. Like, bang, 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 bang. I'm here to watch the kids. And like, he opens the door across the street and he's like, Buck, we're over here. And he's like, oh yeah, oh oops, sorry. And then they just go about their business. Like in reality he would probably have been shot, um but luckily he doesn't get shot.
In the
That's-
remake. Yeah.
in the remake it'll be grittier. And then he has this wonderful moment where he's talking to the mom and she's like wanting to leave him some blank checks.
So
And he's like, do you have a plunger just while I'm thinking of these things? I eat a lot of cheese. I'm like a big mouse. And I'm like, oh my God, this is the most awkward. Like,
Uh-huh.
I laughed out loud. It's so funny how much this film will still make me laugh out loud. He's like, I can't.
mhm.
And he just goes on about talking about cheese. He's like, I can't stop it. I got this. I'm just hankering for this cheese, and I'm dying laughing. It's the weirdest thing to be talking about.
Uh-huh.
It's so funny, and that's why he needs the plunger. He's so no shame at all.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
So
no.
he's so affable and lovable while he does these things too. That's the magic of John Candy.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know?
Mhm.
For sure.
In Tom Cruise's hand, it would have been a much lesser film.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Well, and also because like Tom Cruise couldn't like that there's so many moments of riffing. I want to talk about some other moments
Mhm.
we'll get to like of this riffing that only John Candy can do with his signature laugh and stuff that you can't help but to love him.
Yeah, he is a treasure. All right, so they leave, and one of my favorite moments is he drops a decorative plate, and then he picks it up, and he's like, "This is unbreakable," and then he just bangs it on the piano and shatters it into a million pieces. It's brilliant. Come the morning, he is up at Adam. He is cooking something that looks like a pile of onions with like Tabasco and mustard, and he's like, "I made you guys a breakfast." And Tia comes down and drinks a black coffee, and she's like, "Are you deaf? I said I'm not hungry." And he's like, "That's just for you." And they have the very tense morning. He asks her directly, "Why are you giving me such a hard time?" And she's like, "Am I giving you a hard time?" And he's like, "Uh-huh. Yes, you are." And she's just like, "I'll fix you some cereal when I get back from waking up Maisie." And she has to keep reminding him of their names, which, like, I understand. I have a lot of
Yeah.
nieces and nephews. Like, sometimes you can't get the name right.
No. Yeah.
I do
But
love Macaulay Culkin's reaction when he brings down the plate of food in front of him, and he's like, "Whoa!" Like he's just shocked, like he's never seen something like this. What does he say? He's like,
Mhm.
"There's onions in the eggs." And his reaction is so funny. I love that. I mean, it built up for comedy. It's like this crass, like wild man, and like and these kids being raised. I like how they establish like the mom and dad, very like proper. And so
Mhm.
for him to see something like that on his plate for breakfast, I
And
love
he's
that.
squirting mustard into everything.
Yeah.
into
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
And Macaulay Culkin is so cute in this movie. He
He
just
is-
like
He's
has
just
no right to
knocking.
be this cute.
Yeah, he is knocking everything out of the park. He's so good in this. How old was he at the time?
Let's find out.
Well, and it's interesting because you can also see you hear about Uncle Buck and then the glimmer that, uh, what was it? John Hughes was so inspired by Macaulay Culkin's, um, acting and everything. So that it kicked off writing Home Alone for
Mm.
Macaulay Culkin for this, which is interesting because and when we get to the end, there's so many similarities to Home Alone and this movie, and you can see
Mhm.
where like you can tell it's a John Hughes like inspiration. Uh, he's going from one thing to the next, and then putting Macaulay Culkin as the focus. I thought it was great.
He was 8 years old.
Jeez Louise.
He does so well in that. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm. He's all the Culkins are like such tiny genius actors. Like how? I don't understand. All right, so at the school drop off, the car does a really loud backfire bang, which knocks everyone to the ground. And he's like, "I'm picking you up, Tia, and if you're not here at 4:00 when I come to get you, I'm going to take you to school tomorrow in my bathrobe and PJs, and I'm going to walk you to your first class. So I'll see you at 4. Okay." And he's just like immediately giving her back sass, and it's great. He calls Shanice, and she's like, "I gotta fill this job, Buck. Someone needs to come work for my tire company." And he's like, "Well, give me a few weeks and I'll think it over. And in the meantime, if you find someone, that's great." And the poor woman is so frustrated. Like, I feel so bad for her. I can tell why she becomes Aunt Gladys later in life. We see Miles's weird lunch, which is like a whole onion.
Oh, so funny.
Wasn't it like a bag of liquid?
It was sardines. It was like, and I just love he pulls it all out, and all the kids are just reacting to it. And then he asks for a possible lunch swap, and they all have that all of the chairs is spread out. Oh, it's so funny.
Mm-hmm. He goes to pick up Tia. She's sucking face with Bug. Bug. And he says something like, "I was exactly like that when I was his age, zooming all the girls." And I'm like, zooming all the girls? What does that mean? But I'm not meant to know.
No.
At nighttime, Maisie is like arguing to sleep with in the bed with Uncle Buck, and he's like, "You don't want to sleep with me. I roll over. It's terrible.
I
You don't
drool.
want to. I drool. You'll wake up and think you're in a swamp." It's really funny. He tells them that he has a friend in the crime tech lab who will test their toothbrushes to see if they're really brushing their teeth or if they're just running it under the faucet, which is such a smart thing. Like, he's not a parent, but these are
Mhm.
smart parenting moves. We get a funny scene where Miles and Maisie indeed are sleeping in the bed with poor Uncle Buck, and he is just like, he ends up sleeping on the floor, then they end up sleeping on the floor, then they all pile back into the bed, and it's just a really cute scene, which as a parent, like, I relate to hard.
Oh yeah, I love the sleep montage. Just a bad night of sleep, and yeah, if you've had
Mhm.
a child or a few children all of a sudden in your bed, it's like you're not sleeping. You got a foot in your back. You're on the edge of the bed.
You got no blanket, you're trying to pull
No,
the blanket, it's not happening.
everyone's hot.
um
Yeah, everyone's like running a heater. It's just hotter. Yeah, it's the
Uh-huh.
worst.
yep. We meet the neighbor who comes over in a fur coat, who is just
Mhm.
the
She,
strangest character.
yeah, she is going to 11 on this one.
It's
Oh, just
Laurie
her
Metcalf.
Yeah.
her eye work. She does this thing where she'll say something line and then like her eyes will just go like just like she's wild. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm Marcy Dahlgren Frost. Dahlgren is my maiden name, but I never dropped the Frost, even though I'm divorced. I get
Uh-huh.
compliments on the hyphen. And he's like, sure, sure.
Uh-huh.
I was coming to invite the mom to lunch, but she's not here, so I would like to invite you to lunch. And he's like, I can't go to lunch. I got to pick up the kids. Rain check then. And she's just so weird. He takes them bowling. Oh, I completely glossed over the fact that he thinks that she's like banging a chick in the laundry room because he's like
Oh,
yelling at the laundry machine that he's gonna like force it to take his load.
the line
Which
is, I
is
wrote it down,
really
I'll shove my load into you, whether you like it or not.
oh no. No. How did that make it past a table read? Oh my god.
Also, who
They
struggles with a washing machine that much? And like usually a couple like trying to open a door and then you're just like, and like stop and look around. But Uncle Buck, he has to like just go crazy on it. I like
Yep.
that also the running bit of him doing laundry throughout the house in the oven, microwave, like you have clothes hanging
In the
everywhere.
sink. Yep. Because he never figures it out. He's microwaving their socks and everything like that. They all go bowling. The creepiest guy ever flirts with Tia.
Oh yeah. Super creepy. Pal.
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 I liked it. Made me think of was it Joyce Carol Oates' story? What is it? Where are you going? Where have you been? There's the protagonist, the villain, is named Arnold Friend, and it made me think of
Oh,
that. Like his name's Pal, and he's this clearly creepy dude. So
Mhm.
maybe
so creepy.
yeah.
He even says to her at some point, like, "What are you, a college student?" And it's like, no, she's clearly 15. Back off,
Yeah.
pal.
I do love the I always laugh at the toothpick thing because he's trying to be clever and like look at my cool talent with my toothpick, and I love that they decided to have that little cut on his lip that it's been cut there before, like, and it got stuck
Mhm.
right there. I love like little small bits like that. It's so good.
So good. So Buck learns that he has an opportunity to bet on a horse race that's going to be fixed. He's like, you can make your whole year in just one night if you come to the track on whatever night it's going to be. And so we plant the seed of that for later. We get the birthday the next day. He makes giant pancakes that are like the size of a trash can lid.
And every kid wanted that. When you're young and
Mhm.
you see that, you're like,
Mhm.
I want that. And the giant pat of butter on top too.
Mhm. Yeah, how did he get a giant pat of
I think
butter
it's
like
called a
that?
stick of butter, right?
Yeah, yeah. It's like 8 sticks of butter all together.
Yeah, it's like all
Um,
together.
the clown shows up and he's drunk and he's like, I just got back from an all-night bachelorette party. If you need dildo jokes, I'm your guy. And I was like, wow, that line, I don't remember being in the TV release of this movie.
Yeah, that scene definitely stood out as a little episodic. Like, I was hoping that then Buck had to then pretend and entertain the kids afterwards.
Yeah. Like, what
But
did
yeah.
he do? I wanted that Parenthood moment where Steve Martin has to like
Mhm.
strap bath mats to his thighs and be Cowboy Steve or whatever he is.
Mhm.
They go to pick up Tia again. She's making out with Bug. Or they pick her up at it looks like a rest stop.
Yeah, it looked like when I think of like a park, like a big park with a lot of like where you would have like a
Like the
barbecue or a
Ramadas,
place.
yeah.
Like, yeah, like you would have to call her rent, like or like reserve. That's what made me think of. Yeah,
And Macaulay Culkin goes, "That's a risky thing to do during flu season." I wrote that line down because I was like, what a cute, precocious boy. Buck goes to the school to visit the woman from the trailer. I'm Buck Melanoma, Molly Russell's wart. And she's like, Maisie is a silly heart. She's a dreamer. And he's like, I wouldn't want to meet a 6-year-old who is not a silly heart or a dreamer. And I love that moment of him standing up for her and the little kid sitting outside who's like listening in. And he's like, yeah, get him, Buck. Such a sweet moment.
I know it's funny because the movie is supposed to portray like, look at this guy, he's a mess, and then you watch it, you're like, he's actually kind of a good parent, right? Like it might be
He's
the only
actually a really good parent.
Like,
Yeah.
he's actually kind of a really good parent, like standing up, cares about like showing up and like always there, you know? And so anyway, I thought about that. I was like, who wouldn't want an Uncle Buck? Pretty solid dude.
Yeah, pretty great. He should be giving them terrible Christmas presents all year long, like giving them knives and things that their parents would immediately take away. We get a weird scene where he has left a message for Shanice, and he talks about the names they gave her butt dimples and her boobs. That was a little weird. Shanice calls to return his call, and Tia picks up the phone.
Yeah, this was really uncomfortable.
Yeah, and Tia's like, oh, well, he's out with the neighbor woman, and they always stay out super late. Should I take a message? And poor Shanice, like, she's hurting this woman and like doesn't even think twice about it.
So brutal.
And poor Shanice is very hurt. Buck is doing laundry in the sink and the microwave. Marcy comes over and they do the weirdest dance.
Weirdest dance.
The weirdest dance. And she's in like riding pants. And then, of course, Shanice comes over and sees them dancing and gets really mad. And Marcy's exit line is, I'll just go home and wait for the Federal Express man.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, she's a thirsty girl.
I had a buddy of mine, he and I would always, as like just a joke, sometimes we would do that Uncle Buck dance where he's just like, it's like forward and back. And then and then as he's caught, he does it slowly. Like he would do that bit a lot. I love that dance.
Buck versus Tia. She admits to lying to Shanice, and Buck is obviously hurt. And Tia's like, just let me do my own thing. And he goes, get used on your parents' time. Ooh, harsh. Buck then has a lovely scene with the dog where he's like, people used to say, you got it made, Buck. You got no job, you got no kids, you got no wife, no office. But nobody says that anymore. Aw, so sweet. John Candy is so good at the comedy, but he's so good at the touching moments too. You just, you feel it. You feel it. He is gonna take the kids to the track. Tia's not home. She snuck out to go be with Bug. and he's gonna take the kids to the track, but at the last second, he realizes he can't do it. He calls Shanice and says that he has to go after Tia. And she sort of doesn't believe him, but he just lays it all on the line and tells the truth and opens up to her, and he goes after Tia. When Shanice shows up, Buck is already gone, and little Macaulay Culkin Kevin McAllister is sitting at the mail slot. Can I see your ID? Will you take it out of there, please? In pre-Kevin McAllister mode. At the house party, we see Bug in bed with a girl, and he is like doing the hardcore pressure to get this young girl to have sex with him. Buck is running throughout the party looking for Tia. He's dancing. He's like jiving with the kids at the party. The girl is clearly saying no. We are not getting enthusiastic consent, Bug. Time to lay off, but of course he's not. Buck drills through the door and bursts into the room, but lo and behold, dun dun dun, it's not Tia. It's some other girl. And Buck takes a moment and gets equally mad.
Decides, what the hell?
Yeah, I am going to tie this kid up and toss him in my trunk. Which I love the idea of, like, just the visual of him carrying Bug, like, in his undershirt and, like, underpants, out with it, like, duct taped and gagged, and, like, everyone at the party just being like, oh, okay.
Yeah,
Goodbye, adult man.
Bug sucked. We don't mind.
Yeah. Cell phones would make that a lot harder these days.
Yeah.
It's true.
I also want to point out how he found the party was like when he was in the car and another car came up to him and said, and he asked where the party was, and they're like, "Oh, it's on this street. Our kid is there too, or our son's there too," something like that. And they told him, you're gonna get killed if you go there with that hat." He's like, "Really?" Like, there's a bit about him wearing that hat. Yeah,
that's such a funny part. So Buck catches up with Tia as she's walking home, and she comes clean. You were right. And he's like, I don't want to talk about it. I just want to get you home. Is this a trick? You know what happened? Are you going to tell on me? And he's like, no, I'm not going to tell on you. And then he asks for advice about Shanice, and which is a really sweet moment. He's like, I don't know what to do. I've been stringing her along for 8 years now, and maybe it's time I just straighten up and fly right. And then they reveal that Bug is in the trunk. And they hit golf balls at him quite accurately.
Yeah. Buck's talented.
Yeah.
I feel like in the 80s, 90s, and probably 2000s, it was a lot more prevalent to have like the heroes do some sort of act of gleeful torture that is legally dubious.
Yes.
That would 100% land your main character in jail.
Yeah.
But we're with him because we don't like the person, and gosh darn it, the villain is gonna get they're gonna get their revenge on him or whatever. But yeah, I feel like this would make like the montage of those types of movies for sure, because the whole time it's kind of extended, and Bug is saying, you know, I'm going to sue you. I'm going to do this. Ow! And it just keeps going and going.
Yeah.
To where like the car drives back, and then he starts hitting golf balls at him. Ow, you're hurting. Like it keeps extending. Legally problematic, but
yes, Bug's got a case.
Yes. A very strong case.
If he does decide to stew. He was kidnapped by an adult man.
Yes.
So Tia at this point does a complete 180. The next day, she's telling Shanice what a changed man Buck is. He's kind, he's thoughtful, he's great with the kids, and Shanice knows he's listening at the door. So she bangs it open once and misses him. But then she bangs it open again and flies him across the room in like a gigantic arc where John Candy's body just flies. I don't want to know how they accomplished that. Like he
Yeah.
just sails through the air and lands hard on the floor. Then they're like putting the kids to bed, and Buck is like, "We should have done this a while ago, you and me, the whole house and kids thing." And she's like, "Brrr." But it's very cute and very sweet. The mom and dad come home. Everyone's hiding to give the mom time with Tia. And he's like, "We're gonna button our lips and tie it closed with a string and then turn the key and throw the key away." And they all do it, and it's adorable. We get a moment where Tia like still has that glare. She's got that hard face on and she's glaring at the mom who's just come through the door. But then she softens and she hugs the mom in what I thought was a beautiful piece of acting by this young lady. And Buck ruins the moment by knocking down the entire pan rack above the kitchen island. And then everybody says goodbye, and and everyone's happy, and it's so sweet. And Shanice doesn't want to leave because you can tell she's just so happy to have met them and to be with this family, and like she's so excited that Buck has changed. And it's a beautiful, heartwarming ending to a wonderful, hilarious film.
And it ends on the like a freeze frame. You know,
The-
we get oh, why am I blanking on her name? The daughter.
Tia.
Tia, thank you. We get that, shot of Tia, and then we end on Buck, smiling and waving. And I like that, like, as the movie started with Tia, that's the first character we see, and how it comes around and ends with her and Buck. I also want to point out the Home Alone ending, right? Just like Kevin McAllister and his mom, and how they had this content and anger with each other, and then same thing. She comes home, they see each other, and they hug. And I thought that was like, oh, it's like, oh yeah, it's like little things that John Hughes likes. And I'm like, you can't help it to like, we'll bring in the motion with this. It's like, yeah, it works. It's really good.
It works. It works for me. It works every time. I'm gonna fall for it every
Yeah.
time. So keep trotting it out of your tool bag. I love it. Anything else that we missed or didn't talk about?
There's so many funny lines. The one line that makes me laugh, there's so many I laugh out loud rewatching this, and it holds up in so many ways of just a great storytelling of revealing characters, revealing the next where we're going, and what's going to happen, because it's a short film. It's not very long at all.
No, blissfully short.
Yeah, it's great. I love it. I love these these shorter films. They're because everything just has to be so long now. I love the line, and it seemed like it was probably a riff. Is when they first drop off Tia at the school, and he tells her that, I'm going to pick you up at 4. And then she leaves, and he goes, does she hate me? And Maisie goes, with a passion. And he goes, Maisie, is the hat? People see this and they just get real mad when they see the hat. And he like busts out the hat, bringing out the anger. I laugh so hard at that. I think that's such a funny line to say. Is it the hat? The people see this and they just get mad. They get at the hat.
They hate the hat.
They hate the hat.
So good.
There's something to be said. I want to it's like there's something Buck enters this life, and he is this magical character. He's not a real, it's almost like he's not this real person. He's a magical character. The clap on, all the lights go on. He makes these giant pancakes. There's just strangeness about, and I find there's something interesting, almost like in mythology of certain different characters. Like he enters this, he was needed for Tia, right? For this character to go through what she needed to go through, but she needed to face up against something that was going to be difficult for her, which was perfect example with Uncle Buck. Uncle Buck was going to be really difficult for her, but that's what she needed in order for her to kind of come full circle and go through her growth. So I was just thinking about that. I was like, oh, there's like, because the world itself is very normal outside of Buck. Once Buck enters, then it's all kind of goofy, wild, and
Yeah.
chaotic. With the
Mhm.
car was very mythical too. Like, what car gives off that much exhaust without being pulled over and it
Yep.
back
Or literally catching on fire. Yeah.
catching on fire? And like, I love that one line with oh, that's right, the car that goes right.
Yeah.
Hey, your car's on fire. No, no, no. It just does that. And then also when it first backfires at the school, and you even see a close up of the kids' faces, and like one of them gets like sprayed with black like
Yeah.
exhaust.
Uh-huh.
Like, it's just, he's this magical being that shows up. Yeah, I mean, I can't say enough wonderful things about this film. I love it, even down to the very John Hughesian soundtrack, emotional soundtrack, and everything. And
Mhm.
when it comes to also characters, like what kind of soundtrack does Buck get compared to these sweet moments and stuff? Yeah. Oh, the bowling ball
Yeah.
falling on the head. That would have ended someone's life right there when it just
That
falls
would
on
have,
his head,
yes.
and it just falls on, and he's like, "Oh."
Oh,
That's
my
just no.
head.
Yeah. Oh, bowling ball. Yeah.
And it's not the bowling ball that he bowls with, so that's his extra bowling ball that he keeps on the high shelf in the closet.
The highest shelf, yeah.
So on a scale of 1 giant pancake to 10 giant pancakes, which would complete a stack of giant pancakes, how many giant pancakes do you give Uncle Buck, Nathan?
I'm gonna go with 7.
Okay.
John Hughes is so clever. John Candy is so darn charming. You know, I would say if there's any fault to the movie is that maybe around halfway it kind of starts to become a little episodic. You know, in terms of like, oh, he has the scene with the clown, and then there's the scene with this, and then they don't really kind of. I mean, they semi connect with what's going on, but they're kind of like,
Mhm.
you know, bit scenes.
Mhm.
And there's just a little bit of the momentum and energy kind of lost from that, even though they are a lot of fun. But no,
Mhm.
it's a really charming movie.
Yeah, I agree. All right, 7 from Nathan. What do you think, Keith?
I mean, I'm gonna give it 10 pancakes with a big old pat of butter on top. But also, and I was like, okay, is this coming from like this nostalgia of just like loving it? But I've seen all of John Hughes films, and then there's something with this. I can zoom out and I just look at it from the plot wise, the story of how it like just the little details of what it's doing as a
Mhm.
story of these characters. I'm like, it's so just well done. Like, if I can,
Yeah.
and it's how many movies do we see now where we're like, that's 2 hours, and it felt forever. I've seen some
Mhm.
films that just drag, and I'm like, holy moly. Whereas this is like, it moves one thing to the next. Um, and you're so interested of like, how's Buck going to react in this situation? And I like that he's not a, like a bad Santa, like a
Yeah.
Bob, Billy Bob Thornton, just a kind of a nasty, you
Mhm.
say on the screen, like, he's a lovable person who kind of smiles at what's given to him and kind of keeps moving forward. Like, he goes into the restroom at the school, and well, he
Yeah.
still needs to pee. Well, he's gonna crouch down and all these like on the urinal, and he's still, he just says yes to it, and he's going to do his best. Like, I like that. Yeah, I mean, I can go on about how much I really admire for what the story is doing, and I'm sure it can be. I can see, and I agree with what Nathan's saying. It was like, there can be so, with this kind of character, you can set up so much. We're like, okay,
Mhm.
replace that clown scene with something else. What's another thing that can be added that maybe can move forward? And you're right. Like, what would it look like for Buck to try to entertain? Knowing Buck, like, what would he put on the TV? What would he do, or to entertain these kids? Absolutely. I think, yeah, I'm kind of curious, and obviously it was a big success because they've tried to make a show out of it, 2 shows out of it.
Really? I didn't
Yeah,
know that.
they try to make 2 shows, and then there's also a Malaysian version called Uncle Bun, which I started watching. You can find it on YouTube. It is like 2 hours and 15 minutes. It's there was no subtitles, but I skipped to the part where they has like Uncle Bun and being introduced. Also, big guy. You could tell they've stuffed him with a bunch of stuff in his clothes. And it was like a big success when it was released.
Mhm.
And then I was reading up all these little tidbits of like where they filmed it, why they filmed it there, and they built like his room, everything. A lot of it was built in high schools, in this like high school, like sound stages in the high school. So like
Oh, that's so John Hughesian.
his room was built, and John Candy wanted more things in his room to add to the character of who this Buck was. Yeah, I thought that was really interesting. He wanted to shoot it in St. Louis, but he wanted it to be cold, and St. Louis, I think at the time, was still too warm. So because he wanted it to be this cold weather. So very Hughesian, obviously, to have it in Chicago, and that's
Yeah.
like where a lot of
Mhm.
he likes to have a lot of his films. What else? Yeah, anyway, what I can keep talking about it because I was interested I like all the little back stuff, little things
Yeah.
of like what they did and what happened on set and stuff like that. Like him and Tia offset or not on screen, like got along really, really well. Of course, like I can't imagine not getting along with John Candy or, when you're not being filmed and just having a good time. So
You'd have to be kind of a monster to not get along with John Candy, I think.
yeah. What about you? What do you give the pancake? Sorry, I went off on that.
I would give it 9 out of 10 big pancakes because I really thought it was cute. Rocket watched the whole thing with me. He was into it and he's seen it before, so he really liked it, and it's just a good time and it's a good revisit. So I really loved it. What about a deep cut recommendation? What do you recommend based on Uncle Buck, Nathan?
Why are you starting with me?
Because you're always
That's
so
terrible.
insightful. You always have the best ones, and Heath needs to hear an example.
Delay.
Okay, I'll go first. I
Okay.
have one to recommend, which
Alright, great.
is an animated series with a lovable uncle who is sometimes problematic, but still wants the best for his nieces and nephews and his family. And he's played by Will Forte, and he's a ghost. I want to recommend Haunted Hotel on Netflix.
That's a good deep cut. That's a great deep cut. That's a great show.
It is a great show. I loved it so much, and I love Will Forte's character and just the lovable uncle who and it's so dark, but they wrap it up in all this fun humor. So sorry if that was a spoiler. If you're gonna watch the show, don't listen to me. Nothing happens. But if you haven't seen it already, I recommend Haunted Hotel on Netflix. Get it while you can. Who knows how long it will stay.
Very good.
All right, are you ready now, Nathan?
What do I have to be next?
Okay, all right. Heath, what's your deep cut recommendation?
There was a lot of. Now here's the thing, the connection of the actual main characters, they're not exactly the same by any means. However, with that being said, like a lot of comedy, a lot of like mishaps and what's going on. I would recommend Confederacy of Dunces by John Kennedy Toole, the novel. It's one of my favorite novels, but the main character wears that hunter's hat the whole time, and it becomes a known thing among the other characters. They all know about what he wears. It's like the outfit, bigger dude, always, and then like trying to get work. There's this relationship between him and his mother, so it's definitely different when it comes to a certain dynamic and characters. But the comedy wise and a character that's definitely not like John Candy is like happy-go-lucky, where the character in Confederacy of Dunces is very entitled, thinks that he's the smartest person ever, and keeps getting himself into trouble though based on just his his personality of kind of bit laziness, doesn't want to really work, thinks he's better than to work. And so a little bit of that Peter Pan syndrome, not growing up. So there is some similarities with that, but personality wise, a little different, but a laugh out loud, good time, and worth reading. It's a kind of a classic comedy novel, and I highly recommend it. So that one's one of my favorites.
Love it. A novel. We're getting so highbrow these days. Wonderful. Did you come up with one, Nathan?
Well, I have one, and it's not amazing,
Okay.
but it's kind of the idea about the lovable misfit who basically comes in as a catalyst and changes the family or changes the world even, and kind of shares a little of his energy with them, but also kind of goes through some growth as well. So it's a super obvious movie. It's not deep at all, but Elf.
Elf.
Oh,
I'm
that's a
Buddy the
good
Elf.
one.
What's your
Yeah.
favorite color?
But yeah, I would say
Seasonal,
yeah,
appropriate.
that's really why I picked that. I mean, if you really wanted to kind of go with like the more of the Mary Poppins style, to where you've got this character who comes in, but they themselves don't really change. They're basically themselves, and then they transform a town. Something like the A Fistful of Dollars, or the original Japanese film Yojimbo, which is awesome. But basically, they're the same movie. The Fistful of Dollars is a Italian ripoff of Yojimbo, which is so good though. So if you're really into, if you've seen Elf, if you've seen the other movies, I would say take a chance on seeing Yojimbo. It's such an amazing Japanese samurai film. It at its heart, it is extremely entertaining and accessible to anyone who isn't used to watching subtitle films. It's a lot of fun.
Wonderful. All right, perfect. Thank you so much for listening, friends. Thank you for being here with us at the end. Heath, do you have anything you want to plug, that you want to refer people to? And it's okay if you don't, but if you do, now's the time.
No, of anything of my stuff, of me, of
Yeah.
plugging me. No, I got nothing to plug me. Plug me. I don't. I'm not even on social media anymore. I'm like taking
Oh,
myself
Good
out.
for you.
I've been absent. Yeah, I got nothing to plug. I've just, read books. Go read some books. There's my plug. Just go read some books.
go read some books. I love it. I love to read books. Nathan, where can the people find your wonderful filmmaking?
Yeah, it's squishystudios.com, or my movie, The Last Movie Ever Made, is on Amazon and Apple for rent. So
Yeah, rent it. Sit down with your family and watch The Last Movie Ever Made. I command thee.
it's a little bit of cursing.
But a fun amount of cursing.
A fun amount. It's
Fun
always for a joke.
Yes. And if you're a fan of the podcast, please like, rate, review, subscribe, thumbs up, tell a friend, tell your uncle. They should be listening to. And if you really want to get into supporting the podcast, become a member. You get every episode a week early and ad free, and you get extra special bonus content at the end. Today, we're going to talk with Heath and Nathan a little bit more about their favorite weird family activities. Like things that you do with your family when you all get together with your aunts and uncles, nieces and nephews, everybody gets together. What's the activity you like to do? That's what we're going to talk about today. And thank you so much for listening. And while you're out there in the world, be sure to keep the most excellent 80s movies podcast motto in mind. Be excellent to each other and party on,
Party on,
dude.
dude.